You sit in a coffee shop, watching people rush by outside. Everyone looks busy, focused, determined. You wonder if they've found what you're still searching for, that elusive feeling of happiness that always seems just out of reach. The truth about happiness feels like a cruel joke sometimes. The harder you chase it, the faster it runs away. You buy the things marketing tells you will bring joy. You pursue the career path that promises fulfillment. You curate the perfect social media presence. Yet that deep sense of contentment remains stubbornly distant. This paradox frustrated me for years. I chased happiness like it was a destination on a map. I made lists of goals, believing each accomplishment would finally deliver that persistent sense of well-being I craved. Each achievement brought a brief spike of satisfaction before the familiar emptiness returned. The ancient Stoics understood this problem. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor and philosopher, wrote in his Meditations, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." Yet in our modern world, we're trained to look outward for happiness rather than inward. Research confirms this counterintuitive truth. Studies show that people who directly pursue happiness often end up less happy than those who don't. Psychologists call this the hedonic treadmill, our tendency to quickly return to a relatively stable level of happiness despite major positive or negative events. Think about the last time you really wanted something. Maybe a promotion, a relationship, or a material possession. You probably thought, "When I get this, then I'll be happy." But when you got it, the joy faded faster than expected. This isn't a personal failing, it's human nature. The real path to fulfillment follows a different route entirely. The psychiatrist Viktor Frankl, who survived Nazi concentration camps, developed an approach called logotherapy. His book, Man's Search for Meaning, proposes that happiness comes not from direct pursuit but as a byproduct of living a meaningful life. This perspective shift changes everything. Instead of asking, "What will make me happy?" try asking, "What gives my life meaning?" The answers often point in different directions. Meaning comes from connection to something larger than yourself. It might be relationships, creative work, spiritual practice, or service to others. The key insight is that when you focus on creating meaning, happiness tends to show up unannounced, a welcome guest rather than an elusive target. My own turning point came during a period of professional success that left me feeling oddly empty. I had checked all the boxes society told me would bring satisfaction, yet something essential was missing. Only when I stopped treating happiness as the goal and started focusing on meaningful work and authentic relationships did things change. This approach aligns with what psychologists call flow states. Described by Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, flow occurs when you're so absorbed in an activity that time seems to disappear. You're challenged but capable, focused but not stressed. People report these states as deeply satisfying, yet they happen when we forget ourselves in the moment rather than focusing on our emotional state. The philosopher Alan Watts captured this paradox perfectly. The desire for security and the feeling of insecurity are the same thing. To hold your breath is to lose your breath. Similarly, to grasp desperately for happiness is to push it away. What does this mean for your daily life? Start by examining the stories you tell yourself about happiness. Notice how often you delay it with, "when then," thinking, "When I get the promotion, then I'll be happy." This mindset keeps fulfillment perpetually in the future. Practice presence instead. The only moment you can experience happiness is now. Not tomorrow, not after your next achievement, but in this breath. This doesn't mean ignoring your goals, but rather changing your relationship with them. Pursue them because they matter, not because you believe they'll magically transform your emotional state. Connect with others authentically. Research consistently shows that meaningful relationships contribute more to well-being than career success or material wealth. Make time for genuine connection, not as a means to happiness but as an expression of your humanity. Cultivate gratitude for what's already here. The brain has a built-in negativity bias that makes us focus on problems rather than blessings. Regular gratitude practice counters this tendency, making visible the good that often goes unnoticed. Serve something beyond yourself. Whether through volunteer work, creative expression, or simply being fully present for loved ones, contribution creates meaning that transcends the ups and downs of personal emotions. The beautiful irony is that when you stop treating happiness as the goal and start living with purpose, presence, and connection, you often find it's been there all along, not as a distant destination but as the natural result of a life well lived. So put down the happiness hunting map. The treasure you seek isn't somewhere else. It emerges when you stop chasing it and instead build a life rich with meaning, even in ordinary moments. The coffee shop. The conversation with a friend. The work that absorbs you. Happiness isn't waiting for you in some future achievement. It's waiting for you to notice it's already here.